And Britain's United Nations Ambassador, Dame Barbara Woodward, warns that Ukraine is on the brink of a humanitarian catastrophe.
Yes, many Ukrainians have been forced to flee their homes. One of those fleeing was 11-year-old Polina. She's one of the 16 children killed so far in the Ukraine invasion. Her picture on the front of many of the newspapers, including The Sun this morning. Beautiful little girl, little pink stripe in her hair, like so many girls of her age, smiling out from the paper there.
Shot in a car with her parents by a Russian foot patrol. In Oksana, joining us, a woman who escaped Kyiv on day one of the invasion. So she is now in the western Ukrainian city of Ternopil. Sorry, I've just missed
Oksana,
the name there.
Oksana, yeah.
Right.
So, Oksana, just bring us up to date on your own personal story, where you've fled from, where you are, and how you're feeling.
Hi, morning. Usually you would say, I'm great, I'm okay, or something like that, but it's not the right moment to say that, because on last Thursday, I woke up at 5:36 a.m. in the morning, and I do remember the time exactly, because this is when my sister called me saying that she just heard explosions in one of the districts in Kyiv, and she said, we have to run. So I think I had very few minutes just to pack my things and try and leave immediately, because never ever in my life have I imagined that anything like that would happen in Kyiv. And we knew that the Russian troops have gathered around Ukraine for more than 2 months now, but I still decided to stay in Kyiv until there's going to be a real threat to my life, or I won't be feeling safe anymore. So
and
this was Thursday.
Just to interrupt, I just want to get all of the details from you as you tell us this story, Oksana. So you knew there was this threat. You thought it might happen. I mean, had you even packed a bag in the eventuality that might happen? And if not, how on earth do you decide what to take? What sort of decisions are running through your head at that point?
The decision making at that point is not something you can rationally think about. I already had my documents and the most important things back, and I just took basically a pair of jeans, a hoodie, and one more sweater, and that's it. All of my belongings are left in Kyiv, because at that moment I still had hope in my heart, like somewhere inside, that I'm going to be able to go back and the things would be normal, but then everything started, and this is just horrible. I can't find any words to describe what I'm feeling right now.
But still life has to go on in some sort of warped way, Oksana, but you're talking about the abnormality of all of this. Is there any normality, perversely, between the huge disruption that's going on? Are you witnessing any normality?
Well, any normality. I mean, I was able to leave Kyiv on the very first day when the city was, already full and packed with traffic, and I've never seen Kyiv like that. Everyone was trying to leave and escape, and it took me 15 hours to get to my parents' house where I was going. Normally, it would take me, just 5. And the normality is that, I don't see any normality right now. The normality is that I can eat food and I can have some breakfast or lunch whenever, but not even in a lunchtime or breakfast time, because of the sirens that are, constantly on. You have to hide, and, everything is disrupted right now. You don't know if you're going to be able to sleep. You don't know if you're going to be able to eat, because, you need to constantly hide in the shelter, and that's the reality right now.
So, Oksana, you say you travelled what would normally be a 5-hour journey to your parents. I presume that is Ternopil, where you are. Are you feeling safe there? I mean, you say there are air raid sirens, and you have some sort of shelter. I mean, was that made in the last few days, or has that been a long-standing shelter?
Well, I'm not. I have moved again, but I'm still in the Western Ukraine. Shelter, the bomb shelter, when we say bomb shelter, usually it's the basement, so it's not even like a bomb shelter, because, well, the bomb shelter is a specially equipped place, but in most of the houses, right, you have only like a very basic basement, so to say. So you have to you have to bring there everything yourself, the blanket or water. Every time we go there, we take a backpack with us, full with the food or some warm clothes and water. And every time you have to run forth and back. And this is very, distressing. I feel like a lot of people now in such a distress that we can't normally, just process things. We're constantly on alert. And we're constantly checking the news because it's getting worse and worse every day.
And how do you feel about the news this morning of this 40-mile convoy of Russian military tanks and the like, heading towards Kyiv? And how do you feel about Zelensky, who's adamant that he will stay there?
One thing that I know for sure is that I'm so proud of my country and my people and the leadership of Ukraine right now. Our armed forces, I think the world hasn't expected this from us, maybe, or I don't know, just opening eyes on who Ukrainian people really are. I now consider us to be the bravest nation in the world who are standing up to an aggressor with one of the most powerful armies in the world. But we are fighting for our freedom, and I'm proud of our president, who is refusing to to go to any I don't know, like to give away even a centimeter of our land. And I have trust and confidence in who's leading Ukraine right now. Couldn't be prouder.
Oh.
Well, sorry to interrupt you there. Just thank you very much for talking to us. Oksana, we hope you stay safe and appreciate you making the effort. Thank you for telling us your story.